The year is 2024. You, a hopeless gaming noob just hanging around looking to make his millions from gaming. Yeah, okay, maybe that sounds like some kind of crazy scene out of a movie, but I'll tell you right now that gaming tokens are falling from the sky. There's so many gaming airdrops out there right now, and today I'm gonna show you my top 9 that are upcoming that you need to know about and that you can get for free for the most part. It's mission time.
Secret Agent Stash.
Welcome back, agents. Secret Agent Stash here, and we are at GIA headquarters like always, starting off the new year here with a banger. A lot of people have been talking about token airdrops lately, and it's not just in gaming but across the entire crypto universe. But there's some great opportunities out there that are either low cost or no cost that you can get into today that are starting right now. Some of these games do require you to have the NFT or own the NFT to be able to get the airdrops, but some of them are completely free to jump into, and all they require are maybe a couple social tasks or jumping in and playing the game, connecting some of your social accounts, things of that nature. So these are they're approachable for almost everybody out there and for every budget. And when you talk about, this setting the tone for 2024, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I truly believe we're gonna see a lot of these play to airdrop events or do X to airdrop events. They become incredibly popular, and they're a great way for games to promote their game and to get people in there to check it out. So let's go jump in today to 9 of my top games that I've been looking at here for airdrops that are upcoming right now, this month, very soon. Let's go. Okay, so first up here is Zai. This is not a particular game, it's not just one game, but it is actually an ecosystem kind of similar to Gala Games in a way, but very early on. They have an interesting technology stack where they actually have 3 different layers. They're using Ethereum, Arbitrum, and their own Zai layer, which helps with the efficiency and scalability for their games. Now, in particular, they don't have a ton of games going on right now, but one of the top ones is Final Form, and they have a couple other ones that are on their way. Now, Zai just announced their big airdrop for their Zai token. There's gonna be 5% of the total supply of all tokens that are gonna be airdropped to NFT holders. Now, this is one where you do have to have one of their NFTs, but they have several options here. You can see a Vanguard NFT is gonna get a little over 1,300 Zai. Legendary NFT holders are gonna get 290 Zai per NFT on top. And then Sentry node owners are gonna get the most amount of Zai airdrop to them for owning a Sentry node. This airdrop claim is not live yet, right? Be careful of scam links. They say that right here. You gotta be watching out for this one. All right, heading on to number 2, Nifty Island. Now, this is a pretty cool, island builder kind of game, right? If you are familiar with some of those games out there that been doing this, we featured a couple on the channel that are Web3 based, and Nifty Island is yet another one of those, right? So you kind of create your island, you can share, you can play, and you can earn. And their open beta is coming here on January 17th. Now, during this open beta, you'll be able to actually jump in and you'll start being able to play to airdrop. Once again, this is one of those reoccurring things we're gonna see here. Playing the game in some sort of way to be able to get an airdrop of tokens. And their token that is coming for this big event is the Island token. I like the fact that they talk about this and they say governance tokens are over. Deep game utility and real ETH rewards are the future. That's popping collars and making dollars right there. Now, maybe this isn't your style of game, but this is one of those ones where it's super casual and pretty much anybody can kind of jump in and start playing. Not everybody's gonna actually really love this type of game, but I think for those that do, it definitely makes a lot of sense to jump into Nifty Island. And they have a lot of great interoperability with a lot of different brands, which I think is really fun too. If you go look here, they've done some community integrations with Azuki, Bored Apes, CloneX, Cool Cats, CyberKongs. So these are all some pretty cool, community-based NFTs that they're incorporating into the island here. So if you're part of one of those communities, it's even a bigger bonus to jump in here and start playing. All right, next up here is Overworld. This was one of the most hyped mints going out of 2023 into the new year. And they just did a big reveal for their Incarna NFT. Here is my Incarna. He is very shocked. He's like, shocked that he was not legendary. Maybe that's I think what it is. But in general, they actually turned out really good. When you want to compare these to some other NFTs out there, they're very reminiscent of Azuki NFTs. And so we know that they have a lot of utility attached to these NFTs. And this is one of those ones where you do have to have the NFT, or maybe you meet a couple of these other requirements. Maybe you hold a supporter key. You hold an Incarna. You had a failed transaction during mint, which a lot of people did. I know a lot of my agents in my community, the GIA, they had some failed transactions. They're gonna hook you up and be able to get you some of these tokens here when they drop here pretty soon. They're giving you a pretty good way to access this token, this airdrop. And you know, obviously one of the easiest ways is just holding one of the Incarna NFTs, and you're going to get that airdrop for the upcoming game. And this is, you know, an RPG style game we don't have a ton of information on, but there is a lot of hype behind Overworld in general. So definitely one that you should check out. Right now, as you can see, the NFTs are trading, they're around 1.8, so it's not cheap to get on these. They definitely, you know, from this free mint, they definitely skyrocketed, and there is going to be a lot of demand. All right, up next is Bloodloop. And Bloodloop is, you know, like a hero shooter that is going to be, you know, launching their BLS token here in an airdrop kind of capacity, right? Essentially a play to earn, right? A play to earn kind of capacity. They've kind of gone about this a little bit different than what we've seen with some of these other collections. They're doing what they call the SEM Capsules collection. They're going to be a 3D NFT. There's going to be, you know, a couple different rarities and bases, right? And you're going to be getting a faction affinity score, which is a really cool thing they did recently, where they had you go through a multiple choice questionnaire that then like essentially, you know, gave you a faction that you would be attached to, which I thought was pretty fun. So the cool thing is you'll be able to stake these NFTs, these SEM NFTs, and you start generating points, right? You have to go in and actually do some of the tasks and some of the quests there to be able to continue earning these points, and then points convert into BLS tokens at the end of each airdrop season, right? So each season they're going to be airdropping a bunch of tokens for people who have played, and the amount of points that you've accumulated are going to equal how many tokens you get. So this is the very first step here, is getting these NFTs out. If you have not already gotten your faction, make sure you go hit up their Twitter here and go check out that form where you can actually go in there and get your faction. You can see a little bit of Bloodloop gameplay right here. You know, has a little bit of Overwatch type of feel to it, I would say. Also going to be a very hotly desirable and you know, profitable mint here coming up. All right, next up is Farcana. So Farcana is they've already been in the midst of this airdrop. It started at the end of December, and it is very similar to what we've been talking about here, but anybody can jump on this, and it doesn't get simpler than this, right? So if you want to get this FAR token airdrop, all you gotta do is start the missions, and there's a bunch of different missions down here, and they're super easy. Like, it's not even really necessarily all about playing the game. You do have to play the game as well, but you can see, obviously you want to create your account, you got to create a Bybit account, follow them on social, there's some social activity quests that you have to do, playing the game missions, and then obviously they have a referral system here that's going to boost you up and get you more points to be able to get in that airdrop. And Farcana like I said, it has a, you know, it's kind of a similar feel. I would say kind of an Overwatch. It's a hero style shooter. This one has been very much hyped up as well. We saw Neo Tokyo go big on this project, so there's a lot of involvement from a lot of gaming communities here. And you know, from what we've seen already from some of the playtests and jumping in, this is definitely going to be one you want to watch out for. And it's super easy to get in. You don't need an NFT right now to really start playing. So that is a big bonus here. Okay, another up and coming one is Kokodai. Now, this is an interesting take here on what they call a fantasy extraction shooter. And I kind of love that. You know, I kind of love that they're going the fantasy style for an extraction shooter. You know, we've seen something similar to this, you know, before, but not on this kind of fantasy level, right? And so Kokodai is a newer game, but they're getting ready here for another NFT launch, and that is their free mint that is coming this quarter for their mask collection. Only 2.5 total supply. If you already have a Kokodai, then you're gonna get a mask whitelist right off the bat, right? Getting this is going to give you, one of these masks is gonna give you token airdrops. You're also gonna get drops for skins and weapons, in-game earning boosts, and then whitelist for upcoming mints. And the cool thing about this, they say it's not just an accessory. It's not just like something you put on. It's actually going to be a shield that you're going to be using in game. And without a mask, you become a magnet for danger, right? So I think that's kind of cool. They've done that in a way where, you know, if you're going to play the game, that's great. You can do it free without some of these NFTs possibly, but if you don't have it, man, you're gonna be a magnet for danger, and that could just spell disaster for you, right? Upcoming. So kind of cool to see this token airdrop coming from a game that I haven't put too much of a spotlight on, but I do find this interesting and one I'm definitely gonna be keeping my eye on, and so are my agents at the GIA. All right, up next is a pretty big one that we've talked about here, and this has been much anticipated for the last few months, and that's Pixels. Pixels is a game on Ronin that is essentially a social MMO type of metaverse, right? And they have been kind of teasing the drop of their Pixel token here, and there haven't been a lot of details. People knew that it was going to be some sort of play to airdrop event, and we finally got details today that the play to airdrop event is going to be happening tomorrow, January 4th, and it's going to be essentially getting in there and playing, and you're gonna get, they haven't released all the details, but it will start tomorrow, and this is ahead of what they call Chapter 2. So Chapter 2 is going to be starting here later this quarter, but they're going to be starting the play to airdrop event for the Pixels token in the game here, starting January 4th. Now, this is the second token in the ecosystem, in contrast to Berry, which they're also going to be making some changes to when Chapter 2 drops later this quarter. But this is one of the most played games, and definitely what is, kind of, I wouldn't say keeping Ronin afloat, but definitely what is pushing the Ronin blockchain forward in so many ways. If you guys aren't like super into Pixels, this may be one to actually just go check out. If you're like, okay, well, social MMO, you're kind of running around, it's pixelated, maybe not your thing, but I do think this is going, the Pixel token is going to be a hot token, and there are going to be a lot of people talking about this and wanting to get in and farm this. So competition may be pretty big, but the rewards could also be pretty big as well. All right, up next is Kororo Beast. Now this is a classic style monster tamer game where you're on an island, you're finding monsters, you're battling them. They kind of have like a pixel kind of look to them, as you can kind of see here. And they're doing a big airdrop campaign. This has been an ongoing campaign, right? So the hunt for Kuro begins now. And to be able to jump in, all you gotta do is create an account, connect your Discord, and then start playing the game, right? And there's a lot of ways you can do that, and most of this is for free. Now you can jump in and you can get some NFTs that are gonna help you out here in a couple of different ways. But in general, I think that this is something that anybody can kind of do for free, and you just kind of keep bumping up that leaderboard, right? The more you're playing, the more you're going to be able to climb up that leaderboard, which means the more you're going to get in this play to airdrop season that's coming up right now. All right, last but not least, we're talking about Big Time. Now, this is a game that has been already in its preseason launch for the last few months. They are already on their second airdrop season, which is kind of crazy. And this is, I'm not even gonna say honorable mention, but they deserve a big mention here. They're giving away a lot of rewards in their native token. You can see here that the top ranked player on the leaderboard is going to win 1 million Big Time tokens. Now, that is a pretty big purse there. And so everybody on this leaderboard, you can see up to like almost 3,000 people here are going to be earning some tokens. And you can see even like 50th place is earning 50,000 Big Time tokens. So once again, it's one of those games that, once you're in, you can play and there's a good reward there. Now, out of all the games here, this is probably one of the most expensive games to get in right now and start earning and start moving up that leaderboard with $0. Like, it's not going to be possible with Big Time. You do have to make an investment here. But out of all these, I would say this one is probably the hardest to get into, but the rewards here are definitely insane rewards that you should be looking at if you're looking to make $1 million this year playing games and getting airdrops. Well, there you go, agents. 9 of my top games that I'm looking at here for airdrops that are upcoming. Some of them free, some of them paid. Regardless, this is your opportunity to jump in and possibly make $1 million playing airdrops this entire year here, because there are going to be so many opportunities, and these are just the first. Let me know if you guys have any more suggestions for games that we should be looking at for airdrops. Put them in the comments below. But that's all we have for today, agents. As always, this briefing never happened. Secret Agent Stash, over and out.
Secret Agent Stash.